Console online. HPG connection online. Educational module online. All systems nominal.
Hello, class, and welcome to On the Origin of Battle Mechs podcast, a Gencon 2024 recap special episode. I am your host, Brent, also known as Ouroboros. My co-hosts today are...
I'm Chandler.
And I'm Derek.
And I'm Mr. Brute.
And joining us, because we literally grabbed him and told him to get over here, is...
It's me, Brent.
He said the thing.
He said the line. He did
He did it.
He did.
Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, the other Brent in this case.
So Brent.
From on not on the origins of Battle Mechs, from my podcast, which is of Mechs and Men. I definitely didn't just forget that.
I was about to say that sentence is going on because your mind is like, what is it called again? I don't remember.
Is it because you're staying up way too late still?
No, I've actually completely recovered. Finally,
He still has the
Aaron hasn't though, because he's got a child at home, and then they just started school, so he's hurting.
Yeah.
He still hasn't.
Well, he
quite...
never had anything to recover to.
I feel it. In the same boat.
Yeah, Gen Con is great, but you need a couple days at least to recover from it, because it's about, I don't know, like 2 weeks to a month of stuff all crammed into a weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
And then the weekend after, I went on a work trip, and then this week I've been on work trips. So
You've been a busy boy.
It's been a time, yeah.
Yep. Same.
My cat's
Yeah.
like, "How dare you? Who are you? Why don't I hate you?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
We
why
got more
don't you hate me?"
I got more PTO going on in August, and I know what to do with myself. Gen Con kicked it all off.
There you go.
I wish I still had PTO.
I'm still suffering from a sprained wrist from my dice hangover. So I'm just kidding. I didn't throw enough dice. My army didn't have enough dice to throw.
The most damage he had was 1 0 star 0 star.
Lord, I wasn't too far from that. When you take to the field and almost everything you have throws 2 damage, maybe 3. Yeah, it's a rough day.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're going to just do a quick little round table, which, of course, when I say quick little, it'll balloon the episode absolutely. But we're just going to go around the table and kind of do a little recap for those who were not able to make it out to Gen Con, and maybe those who were and, wanted to hear our battle report from the event. So I flew down this year as opposed to driving down last year, which was a trek. But flying was not too bad. Got to spend a couple hours in O'Hare on layover, which was interesting to see that iconic airport, because as a Canadian you hear a lot about it, but being there is a little different, as always.
There's a lot going on at O'Hare at any given moment.
Yeah, and came in a day or two before and left a day or two after, so I could hang out with some local friends. One of the things we did before on the Wednesday was my friends at the Blank Body podcast. They set up a live fundraiser show, which was absolutely great. There was a couple local bands, and then they had like a battle royale elimination D&D like wrestling sort of game. It was so people could step in and then get eliminated, then someone else would step in, and it was really cool, really neat. A lot of cool people came by. Matt Stormcrow was there, as well as Endeavorance showed up at one point. Just in the crowd, not in the actual thing, but it was a lot of fun. Then Thursday was spent a bunch of time waiting in line, going through the con floor, getting to look at all those goodies in the Catalyst booth, because you got to hit it right away if you want to get all the shiny and con exclusives, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Got to strike before the Lorcana players get there.
Well, luckily, Lorcana players tend to surround the Lorcana thing first, so it gives you a little time.
That's true.
And I was able to chat with a couple people briefly. Was able to come back later in the con, just because I wanted to show my face, be like, hey, I do this. Here's my card. I have cards now, aren't I fancy? And was like, I get that you guys are swamped and busy. When can I come back so we can actually talk? And they're like, these times would be good. And I was able to talk to a couple people, mostly
between 2 and 2:15.
Yeah, mostly got to chat up. Of course, to make it confusing, the Brent on staff at Catalyst. Got to actually sit down with him for a little while and go over some things and chat him up, and that was nice. Doing that networking thing. Picked up the Premium Vulture or Mad Dog, both for myself and for a local friend who helps organize the Victoria BattleTech and Alpha Strike scene at Gauntlet Games in Victoria, which I highly recommend if you're ever in town. We had one of the other podcast gentlemen in town a couple weeks ago before Gencon, and we met up there and had a impromptu game and got to hang out because that's how it do. BattleTech people would be like, "Hey, we should do a thing. We should do a thing," and then we did the thing.
It just happened to me just now.
Yes. That's so weird.
The only other real big BattleTech thing I did, other than swing by the tables and say hi to people, was I went to the BattleTech and Shadowrun writers panel, which was really good, really interesting.
Yep.
Had a lot of interesting little tidbits, stories, and recommendations for people who were wanting to write for either Shrapnel or what is the short story collection for Shadowrun? I'm blanking on the name. Or do they?
It's not out yet. They're in the process of starting it. It's
right.
But it'll be like Shrapnel?
Yeah, it'll be like Shrapnel.
Sort of.
Similar,
It's
but
like
different.
It's like confidentials, right? Like it's kind of
it's like confidentials. Like you remember that bank robbery a couple of years back? Yeah, I was the one who did that. This is how I did it, kind of thing.
Which
it
cool
sounds like a really cool idea. I think I'll probably pick it up.
Because I really like Shadowrun, but for me, it has always been more of a setting than like a story thing. Because like it's just a big sandbox. Because like unlike BattleTech, it has, at least as far as I'm aware, less movers and shakers that are always. In the classic era of BattleTech, Victor Davian was always around. It isn't the same.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I just haven't read the right stories or realized that certain people are always around. But I'll own it. I like Shadowrun as a concept, but I haven't had a chance to really dig into it or hyper focus on it yet. But it was really cool hearing people who have written for both and hearing about like the overlap and it was a really cool panel. I unfortunately was like that was the only thing I was a couple minutes late for because I had to run from a Hunter 5th edition game over to the panel room, and of course they're always on the opposite side of the con, and you have maybe 10 minutes, and you do the polite squeezing through and past people, and just you get your steps in at Gen Con is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So why don't we just go down the recording or VC list? So Chandler, you're on deck. How was your Gen Con?
Gen Con was pretty great. I flew in so I left Tuesday at like 4:10 p.m. and flew to Denver to meet up with Bourbon from the Valhalla Club and Charles Gideon from Wolfnet. And then we flew the rest of the way to Indianapolis. I almost said Chicago. Almost, not quite. And so we got to Indianapolis at like 3 a.m. on Wednesday, which was a decision we made. And so our Wednesday...
Past Chandler thought it would be fine. Current,
yes.
In the moment, Chandler regretted past Chandler's decisions.
Out of the choices I could have made, it actually probably wasn't the worst. It wasn't very friendly to my PTO stockpile, but what else is PTO for but to be used, right? So we kind of hung out Wednesday and just chilled. until we got the Airbnb opening, and then we went to the con and hung out there and harassed everyone who walked out of the Catalyst demo team meeting. And that was pretty much our Wednesday, Thursday. We just hung out and met up with Derek. Well, we met up with Derek on Wednesday, but Derek, Charles, and I kind of hung out and wandered the con, went to the aforementioned writers thing. Well, Charles and I did. Derek, unfortunately, had a commitment pop up.
Biggest waste of my time ever.
Friday was the 350 tournament, which I think we'll just have to have a little segment at the towards the end of this where we all talk about our experiences in that. Saturday was more hanging out. we hung out a lot, which was good. Last year I think I did a little too much, but this year I feel like I did not enough, so I need to find that nice middle zone. And then Sunday was flyback. It went pretty well. We did go into the BattleTech pods, which were great. I love them. They're amazing. Goober Kurita, your AI died painfully. Good riddance. Also, the Demos is hilarious, and it's still good even if you hobble yourself and only use half your weapons because you weren't pressing the right button for the missiles.
Right.
Yeah, that's a very general recap of my Gen Con. Very, very general.
All right. Well, next up we got Derek.
So, for the most part, Chandler kind of covered what we did, because me and him were legitimately just the dynamic duo wandering around Gen Con together pretty much the entire time. But, yeah, so first day, got in about early afternoon. Brute picked me up from the airport. We kind of hung out, killed some time till the house opened up. House opened up, got over there. Somehow I think I ended up being the one directing everything. Someone had to take charge and place people where they were going to sleep. So I kind of took that role, I guess. Ended up getting a choice couch, but then it later came out to be a curse because it was right above where everybody was hanging out. So I literally could not go to sleep unless everyone else was asleep.
Oh no!
It worked out.
Or they were quiet. But whatever.
That didn't happen.
Well, it wasn't too bad the first couple nights. The last night, though, everybody was kind of just having a great time, so I just finally gave up trying to sleep and hung out. And my Sunday flying home was terrible. Anyway, that's not important, because I had, like, no sleep. But, yeah, so basically did that, hung out, had dinner with Jason Hansa, and then went over to the con, got to see our friendly protesters. That was kind of funny. Apparently we're all...
Oh,
satanic,
yeah, we're all heathens that need to
satanic
find Jesus.
Yeah. Anyway, which was
They
kind
just
of
need to find Blake.
Yeah, they needed to find Blessed Blake. So we did that. Then came back to the house, hung out. After that, next day, yeah, that was the day I had to do that stupid interview. That was a waste of time. Anyway, so did that. So I didn't get to go to the panel like originally intended. Nevertheless, that morning went basically hit the Catalyst booth with Chandler. We hit it. I think we hit it
left. Came back, left. Hit it again.
Hit it again. Somehow ended up in charge of the line at one point.
Yeah.
Which was really funny because who was it?
It wasn't Jason.
No, it wasn't Jason.
Helfers?
Yeah, it was John Helfers. John Helfers basically is just like, you
That
guys are in
checks out.
charge. And we're just like, what?
I'm sorry.
It was
what?
very funny that Catalyst seemed to have this strange thing of conscripting free labor out of the podcasters.
Yeah, because whenever a podcaster would show up at the end of the line, suddenly they were the end of the line.
Yeah, somehow we would end up in charge of something, or hey, you need to manage this while I go take care of something else. And it's like, wait, what? Anyway,
Funny similar story here, yeah.
Yeah. So
at the very least, they did come back.
Yeah, they did come back, but it was kind of funny that we became like free laborers. But
It's free real
got
estate.
it. Free real estate. But
got
got in there,
voluntold.
ended up picking up everything I wanted pretty much in the first go, which was some stuff. I got a couple of packs for people back home, so I got I think I picked up 4 of the Star League pack. So one for myself, one for one of my local demo guys, or yeah, one for the local demo guy here in Lawton, Billy, and then 2 for another Oklahoma BattleTech demo agent up in OKC. So did that. Grabbed a couple other odds and ends for people. Of course, I got my Davian Hand Air Force manual. Got eventually, and I think it was the second time through, I got the Karita Force manual, and that was because Doc Swift convinced me that I needed to have both, and I was like, you know what, you're right. And then I made him sign both, so that happened. I also picked up.
He paid his dues.
I also picked up Damocles Sanction, walked up to Saravella and told him, hey, you owe me from last year, and he remembered exactly who I was, wrote it out, handed it back to me, and was like, a debt is paid, because I had forgotten about that, or forgotten to pick it up last year and get him to sign it, so did that this year, so he signed my Damocles Sanction. After that, we just I think we just hung out in the Alpha Strike area, just kind of watching the doubles tournament in the afternoon, because we were kind of done. Then at like 5:30, I had originally not gotten a Universe book, and I was like, I'm not gonna get one. And then I sprinted over to the Catalyst booth, bought a Universe book, and got Brent Evans to sign it before I even bought it, which was kind of fun.
At that point, they can't take it back. So
yeah, they can't take it back, so it's mine. And then I proceeded to spend the rest of the con hunting down various members of Catalyst and getting them to sign it. So I got pretty much everyone, I think.
I think everyone who was there you got.
Yeah, everyone I was there, and like all the top people too. So went around. Friday we played the Alpha Strike tournament, so like we said, we'll recap that later. And then Saturday I think me and I dragged Chandler along on a great hunt to get everybody to sign my book. Managed. It was kind of funny. We walk into the Catalyst booth, and I made a mention to Jason Hansa that I'm trying to get Lauren Coleman to sign my. He was one of the last ones I needed, and he basically kind of pushed people out of the way, helped me get in, so I could, intercept him as he was about to go to a meeting. And I basically told him while he was signing my book that he was one of the hardest people to find. He was the rarest of Pokemon, because that's what I was referring to. Getting signatures is collecting Pokemon. He's like, no. Points to Jordan Wiseman and says, that's the rarest of Pokemon. And I'm like, yep, you're right. Grab my book back and immediately just abandoned Lauren Coleman. He's like, bye.
Bye.
Caught up with him. I will say Jordan Wiseman, and Chandler was there with me. Jordan, he is an awesome dude. He was so cool. Like, you could just see, like, when we were talking to him about this podcast, or about the podcast we do with Aviator Academics, Armor Up, and then, of course, on the Origins, you could just see how excited he was. Like, he thought it was the coolest thing that people are talking about, his universe like that he helped create. So he signed my book. And then at Masters and Minions that night, managed to track down Rem, who I jokingly referred to as the rarest of Pokemon, because, again, I think saw her, once on the first day, I think? I think
it was when we twice.
Yeah, I saw her on the first day, and then at Masters and Minions, so I had her sign it there. And it was funny, after I said that, I started to take back my book, and she kind of grabbed it, pulled it, and was like, sat there, and in parentheses below her name wrote, the rarest. And I thought it was really funny. So, yes, if Rem listens to this, you are indeed the rarest. But yeah, so after that, then we went back to the house and hung out. And do we want to talk about that? We'll talk about that later. So yeah, that's my Gen Con experience.
Mm-hmm. Well, next up we have the other Brent.
Oh, very good. So we started, me and Aaron are crazy people, and so we drove all the way from Florida all in one go, which isn't that bad of a drive. It's 12 hours. The crazy part is that we did 12 hours, and then we showed up and went and helped at the Catalyst booth, and then up until basically they shut down for the night, and then finally made it to the house. I think we were the last people to the house, because you guys were already gathered outside when we showed up. Yeah. And I pretty much that first day just went upstairs, and I think I just passed out of like just sleep deprivation. And so that was my Wednesday night. And Thursday we had none of you guys played doubles, right? So yeah, me and Aaron, because ended up doing the blood name tournament, we both were like, well, we wanted to play in the 350, but we were like, we didn't want to double up, even though we probably could have made it work. We just didn't want to be exhausted, so
Yeah.
we did a doubles team plot armor, and we were not successful even with that name, but had a lot of fun doing the doubles tournament. We played the Righteous Brigands, Rosselhog Revenge, and then Team Den Schnitt Machen, which means making the cut in German, by the way. And two of those ended up being in the top 3. So you guys are welcome for that. We helped them. Not on purpose, obviously, but I think we went one win, 2 losses. Yeah, I believe we lost against the Righteous Brigands. We won against Rosselhog Revenge, and we also lost against. I'm not going to be able to say the name twice correctly, but here we go. Den Schnitt Machen. I almost made it. And
Good old college try.
that's right. I totally got ahead of myself. I apologize. I waited outside the Catalyst booth that day with Dave, and went right in and got like the force packs and the force manuals, which those are really cool. Did any of you guys end up picking up those?
I did not.
What?
Oh. The force manual Karita or force manual Davion.
Yep, I have both on my shelf.
Damn.
Heck yeah. Oh yeah, you
I'm
were very excited for force manual Davion last year, if I recall.
Yep,
Mhm.
and now
Davion.
now I have it. It sits on my shelf. Well, I got it for free, so I didn't get it at the con. I got it the night before because one of the Minnesota guys actually got an extra one. So
Nice.
and he gave it to me.
And ended up mid one of the games talking to Shimmering Sword about a Savage, the new Savage Wolf sculpt, so that was cool. Also picked one of those up from Iron Winds. So then we went on to do the doubles tournament, and Aaron got roped into being on the line the first day, so that's what he ended up doing. And that's about it for the first day. You know, we went back to the Gencon house, and you guys were there. We hung out and talked in the evening, and then eventually went to bed. I think that day we ended up roping in Charles Gideon into talking most of the night. And so unfortunately he was in poor shape for the 350 tournament. We already apologized, but just once more, sorry, Charles,
I believe Bourbon would thank you for that.
for that. I imagine he would. I did hear he lost to him.
Yeah, old Gideon got beat by Bourbon this time around.
Crisis was averted. The world will not end now.
That's right.
That was it for day 1, Thursday. Friday, I ended up sleeping in because Aaron was there wasn't really anything that we needed to be there right away for, and I was still very sleep deprived from that night and from driving and staying up all day on Wednesday. So Aaron came in with, I believe, Jason Hanza, and I puttered in around, I want to say 11 or so, and I went back to the Catalyst booth and picked up some stuff that I hadn't originally grabbed. Like I picked up the new Craig Reed book, In the Shadow of the Dragon, and then that Nova Cat and Battlemaster miniature that I had missed out on the first day because they were kind of hidden. The
Hidden right next to the checkout.
right next to the checkout. That's right. And then those blueprint posters, because I also missed those completely. And those are really cool. I hope those go up for sale on the Catalyst store at some point, so I can pick some up for my buddy.
From what I understand, they're supposed to. They were announced before Gen Con, like back when we got these are all the Star League packs we're getting announcement. That it was wrapped up into that. So
Very nice.
I think everyone just forgot about it because
I definitely
mech packs.
Yeah, yeah.
The plastic crack, as they say.
Yes. What is it? The Dire Wolf Warhammer. What else is in that pack?
You're talking about the first one, which is the Orion.
No, the
one with
posters.
Prometheus. Yeah. It's a Direwolf, Timberwolf, Warhammer, and
Griffin.
No,
It's a lighter pack. Phoenix Hawk.
No, it's a Battle Master. Oh, it is a I think you are right. I think there is a Phoenix Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah. In any case, I wasn't too. I like the idea, but I didn't. None of the mechs really spoke to me, so I was like, next time. If there's a Hunchback in there, I would grab it.
Mm-hmm.
Have they ever done a Hunchback on in that like style? The like blueprints, like.
I don't know.
I know they've done several runs over the years, like
I don't
dating back to like.
so.
I don't recall seeing one.
I think the closest we get is the cover of TRO prototypes with the Republic Hunchback partially constructed.
That's a cool piece of art.
It is.
Where it's in the hangar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Picked up stuff from the Catalyst booth. I came by and watched you guys play at the 350 tournament. I specifically went by and watched Mr. Brood. I was like trying to absorb some of his 350 foo.
There was no 350 food for me. I was running.
Yeah,
I was running away.
Great.
I was running a way different list. I actually got yelled at by Aaron to not run any more experiment lists.
Why?
Did you say
more
why?
Reason too. Yeah. Now I'd only run experiment lists.
Aaron wants me to go back and start running the stuff that I'm used to. I actually had a bunch of people that were like, hey, I put this list together because I thought I'd run into this. And then when they saw my list, they're like, what happened to your list? This is not what I was expecting. I'm like, yeah, me either.
You're like, I woke up and chose violence.
That's right.
Davian violence.
That's right. A whole pack of Davian violence.
I did see you use it to good effect on David of the Valhalla Club, though.
Oh my God, that game was awful. I pried my game plan there was to pry open the jaws of defeat and jam myself so far into its throat that I choked it. And that is what I did.
I can confirm, yeah. that checks out.
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah. Let's see. Then later we had the Blood Name tournament, which I fought Zach, who I think he's real prominent in the Wolfnet Discord, I believe. He's got like the frog avatar.
Oh yeah.
He
never came and said hi to us.
Yeah.
Oh, is that so? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like on there being like, "Where's everybody at?" And like, I actually tried to find him.
We said like, "Come say hi to us at the Alpha Strike area."
That's funny.
He'll never live it down until next year when he comes and says hi to us.
Well, I played him the first game in the Blood Name trial for the Kerensky Blood Name, and he went on to win it, so I didn't.
Wait.
Obviously,
he won a Blood Name, and he was there to play for a second one.
What?
Is that what you?
No.
He ended up winning the whole thing.
This year he won. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Did you mean he took on he got a Blood Name last year and tried to win one this year?
No.
That's crazy talk.
How dare you have more than one Blood Name?
Right? Yeah, he can do that. We need a lore master over here.
It's illegal.
Yeah. I don't think so. I mean, I guess you could just, maybe you could hyphenate it. Would they allow that?
Oh my God.
Like.
But then you would end up with an abomination like a Pride Ward.
Kerensky Cal.
Oh God. Like a Pride Ward or a freaking an Osis Jurgensen.
I'm trying to think of another Hell's Horses one besides Cobb.
Make me sick.
Amaral.
Cobb Hazen.
Cobb Hazen.
Oh, disgusting.
Yeah, we got the right one.
So I did not win, and I was out on the first round. But congrats to Zach. He was a trooper, and he helped me out because my brain was fried at this point. and then I'd played Alpha Strike the day before, and so like Classic was somehow like made foreign to me between sleep deprivation and just everything else going on. So after that, I ended up I got to hang out with Eldon a little bit, and I got to check out a little game he's working on. I'm not allowed to say anything more than that, but it was really cool.
Elden Ring?
Eldon, yeah, from Elden Ring. No,
Yeah, John Eldon.
John Eldon, Eldonius Rex.
Yes.
Which
Is his name actually Eldon? And that's
no, I am completely blanking on his
thanks
real
for
name
reminding
right now.
Well, that's fine. We don't have to actually dox him right now. It's fine.
Okay,
I gotta email that guy.
I
wrote down his email. I gotta look for that. Thanks for reminding me.
Nice guy.
We have a thing to do.
We do have a thing to do. Very important. An important thing to do.
Oh, are you guys getting some art made?
They are, yes.
Oh, was it Zach Schwartz? Did Zach Schwartz win? No, I don't think it was Zach Schwartz.
Anyway, not important. We don't need to dox the man.
Very good, very good. So, moving on.
There's a great project that we're working on. Great secrets. You'll find
A
out.
great work.
I'm excited. I want to know. But you could tell me after this if you wanted to. I'd love to know.
It's definitely not something that anybody high up in the community is going to want to hear about.
Oh, I see.
This is off the books.
It's a black project. Got it.
That's
right. Okay, so let's see. That's pretty much it for me for day 2. We went back to the Gencon house and drank. I don't think we wrangled anyone in particular that night into any kind of shenanigans. That was the night certain Catalyst staff member was there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a pretty tame night.
Yeah.
All things being equal, was that the night
to last year?
Especially, yeah. Well, I wasn't there for last year, but I've heard what it was like.
That's true,
yeah, last year was a lot wilder.
Now, was that the Whopper incident? Did that happen that night, or is that the next night?
I think that was Saturday night.
No. That was Friday night.
Yeah,
Really?
Because they had Whoppers.
Oh yeah, because they had Whoppers the next day.
That's
Whoppergate.
right.
That's all we'll say about it. It's Whoppergate.
Yep,
Whoppergate. Yeah. So we came in. We went on that's right. We went on a toilet paper adventure. Which was going to all the gas stations that were open in the area and buying.
Which is hilarious because Charles had a thing of toilet paper at the Airbnb, just in the other half.
It ended up being a fool's errand, and I believe the toilet paper. I don't know where it ended up.
I know you said fool's errand, but it sounded like fool's errand.
I might have.
Also, still accurate.
Yes, I would accept that answer.
Which Aaron?
Our Aaron.
I don't know. We're just gonna say Aaron.
The Aaron.
They're both,
it fits both.
Yeah.
It's just different kind of fool.
Look, there's a royal we, and there's now a royal Aaron, which makes it ambiguous.
Yes.
It is crazy the amount of repeating names in BattleTech, though.
Makes me very glad to be named Chandler.
Look, I don't have this problem anywhere else.
I don't either. That's what's so crazy. There's another one too, apparently, but we'll get back on the grind here. So then that gets us to day 3, Saturday, which I ended up picking up art from Eldon in the morning. It's I believe it's I actually haven't looked at it since I am back, but someone told me it wasn't Ghost Bears. It was actually Smoke Jag.
Yeah. I was the one that told you. Yeah.
Was it you? Okay, yeah. That it's a group of Smoke Jaguars.
No, I think it's a group of Smoke Jags attacking Nova Cat.
Nova Cats, yes, they are definitely attacking Nova Cat.
I have that same picture with
because I think it's during Bulldog or Bird Dog or something.
Operation Bulldog should have been.
Yeah, Bulldog.
No, you're right.
Bird Dog's the one that
Bird Dog was the precursor
to Bulldog, which would have been the one that has Nova Cats involved.
Yeah, Bulldog.
Yes, it was Bulldog.
either way, there is a supernova just getting wrecked
Just
in the middle.
slammed. But it's like that poor supernova can't run anyway, so like he's
No, it
doing his
can't.
thing.
Yeah,
Just
he's saving the others, trying to anyway.
trying, yeah. Giving
Yeah.
his all to save.
He thinks he's saving the others.
He's
There's
trying.
one of God's chosen mechs, the fire moth, coming down the hill with a full load of murder hobos. Will make
That's
short
true,
work of
yeah.
that.
So I picked up that we ended up sneaking some scotch to a certain BattleTech writer, which for right now will remain nameless. But it's a special tool that hopefully will help us later. And then I ended up playing a game of Epic with Bloodbath using Silent Sea Raven's Sea Fox list, which was a lot of fun. It ended up being mostly just kind of play testing, but I still had a lot of fun. And then I got gaslit by my co-host over some steak and shake, where I well, yeah, somewhat. I'm trying to figure out a way to tell the story, but I don't think it's worth it. But needless to
There's
say,
now the myth of the steak and shake.
that's right. And that's pretty much it for the third day. We ended up going back, as usual, to the house, and that's where everyone from both houses had kind of like slowly made their way into the one house and were drinking, and that's when that the episode that shall not be named was recorded.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Do we want to say anything more on that, or are we just gonna leave it up as a mystery? Mystery it is. So that runs into Sunday. I ran into Seth, who somehow we had managed to not cross paths with the entire time. Checked out some of the other games and slowly said goodbye to everyone. And that wraps up me anyway.
Nice. Well, finishing up the circle, we got Mr. Brute.
Oh, yes. Well, let's see. Well, I started out my Wednesday picking up Derek, and we went and hung out at the house a little bit before we were able to kind of assemble some more people. Let's see, it wasn't too much excitement that night. Then popped over. So Thursday was the doubles tournament, which I did play in, and I got to play with a local guy by the name of Matt. And let's see, it was it 3 rounds or 4 rounds? I can't remember which, but we only won one game, but we basically held our own pretty well through most of them. So that was fun. It's kind of a way to kind of test out some things for me, since I hadn't played, Alpha Strike since, Adepticon. Oh yeah, Matt was going to play in the tournament the next day, but he broke his foot chasing his cat that night because he was a local guy that lives in Indy. So hopefully he's doing better. I should check on him. Let's see. That night was Thursday. Was that the night that Brent Evans came over? Or was that Friday?
I believe it was Friday.
Okay. Okay, Friday. Okay, let's see. So Friday was the singles tournament, so that was a 350 tournament. I took my Davian Light Guards, which, for those of you who are aware of the things I like to run, I am heavy on armor and infantry, and the list I took was almost exclusively light and medium mechs from the Davian Light Guards, so it was pretty weird. So a lot of learning experiences for me through the 350 tournament. I had some good opponents. Mike Doyle gave me a beating, just like the last time, so good for him. Yeah, Dave. Dave was the one I pried open the jaws of defeat and choked him on. That should not have happened. But, yeah, sometimes you can't control what happens when somebody is just doing absolutely stupid things on the board. But I ended up coming in 17th place out of 42, so I was happy with that. Middle of the pack for a completely untested army with completely untested units and completely untested tactics for me. So I don't feel like that went over badly. Let's see. I did get to go to the Ironwind booth that day. And I scored. Well, I scared Andrew because I told him I bought out all of a certain type of vehicle. And he was like, why the hell would you do that? And I was like, well, because it's funny. And if I corner the market in it, then it'll be even funnier. And he freaked out. But I didn't actually do that. But I did peruse Ironwind, and I scored me a bunch of new infantry battle armor guys. Because, you can never have too many.
It's true.
I say that as I look at the little box on my desk with 160 elementals in it. But, you can't have too many battle armor. There's always room for more.
That's neither here nor there.
Exactly.
I find I always need to buy I always need for a list ones that I don't have on hand. So I have to go buy them.
Right.
Yeah.
I like to have at least two.
Always
Because
need some phalanx,
Yes,
That's
I have
right.
some phalanx. I have some phalanx.
Me and Chandler do now too.
Yes.
That's right. I have to go digging through my box of infantry every once in a while to try and figure out what I've got. I'm like, oh God, do I have this?
See
Oh,
what you
thank
need to
God I
pick
do.
up. Restock.
That's right. Because I don't want to pay the shipping for just 2 infantry guys. So now I've got to make a bigger list and add more stuff to it. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But I've got a lot of infantry. So that night we went back to the house and actually got to talking to Brent Evans and about his creative juggernaut stuff. So some exciting things coming down the line. Hopefully, possibilities for maybe doing some beta testing on a game that they're looking to release. Actually went to bed at a reasonable. No, I didn't. I stayed up till. I think I had single digits for the first 3 days as far as sleep goes. It was pretty rough. Saturday I did not schedule any games, and it felt great. I did not have to. I did not run myself absolutely stupid like I did the year before. So I got to hang out and cruise around. I got to talk to a bunch of people. I did get to meet Eldonius Rex and discuss a secret art project. So I'm excited about that. And I got to jump into the mech pods, and they told us how to put it on advanced mode. So then I was running around, and Derek tried to give me a bear hug with his Kodiak, but I was too short for him to grab me or shoot me that well, so that was good. And then I got away from him, and he blew me to hell. So that did not work out so good.
You made the ultimate poor decision, where you didn't notice that you were under my guns.
I did not
and then
know.
You moved.
I was like, right. So when you're in the mech pods, your feet control which way the torso was moving when you put it on advanced mode, and I was like, why the hell am I not moving? And I rotated the torso around, and I'm looking right at the freaking chest laser of a Kodiak. And so I start backing up, and I can't get my targeting reticule down quick enough. And Derek's trying to give me a bear hug and kill me. And I shoot him in the cockpit, and then I try to dart away, and he had enough time to just obliterate me at that point. So I was like, well, at least ways I did something I did all throughout the tournament, which was take something much smaller than a Kodiak and attack it, which is just funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, Saturday
was
was
pretty fun.
Yeah, the pods were a lot of fun. I got to play Tommy in epic testing, which really it was fun, but the table sucked because we had to piece it together because they didn't have the main ballrooms open for us to go into. I don't know if it was snatched up or what.
They did. They were just completely full, to the brim.
Okay. Well, this Gencon was, I think, the fullest one I've ever been to, because I want to say that Wednesday afternoon they were already putting up sold out for all 4 days. And
You're correct.
Because it was over 75,000 people.
That has never happened before, according to, I forget who I asked. It was one of the BattleTech guys, though.
I've never seen it. I know that, and I've been going for several years. I've never seen them sold out that early on. Usually you can still squeak a few people in on a Sunday because, people are going home and stuff like that. But
it was... Sunday is the slow day after
all. Yeah. There was not a lot slow about that.
No.
It was crazy. Let's see. So, and then me and Tommy played the epic game. We did some testing. Tommy ended up getting into Masters and Minions because they needed people. I went down to harass people who were playing Masters and Minions because it was funny. And my wife came, and she got to meet Jeff Stone with his family, super calm, and then she got to meet Jeff Stone at the table, and it was a completely different person. I was like, oh yeah, you got to see this. This is Jekyll and Hyde. This is gonna be hilarious. So he is always a treat to get to hang out with. I feel like there's more other than the Whoppers that happened. Well, and then there was that podcast. That was pretty wild. Yes, that was pretty much it. And then Sunday, we just went and kind of did a walkthrough and met up with things. Got to see Topa before we left. Awesome guy. Congratulations on the first grandchild. He was pretty excited. He was going to burn out of there as fast as he could Sunday afternoon. Got to see a lot of people. I'm terrible with names, and I'm sorry about that. I got to Kaz and his brother setting the tone. It was a lot of fun. And then Kaz's brother couldn't be in the singles tournament because he was getting married that day, which I think's a terrible excuse, but whatever you got to use.
Those were the guys in the neuro helmets. Those
yes,
are really
they
cool.
came in friggin' helmets.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. They were setting the tone. Team tone setter. And yeah, other than that, they foolishly let me run the Catalyst table for like 5 minutes, and I started yelling that I was taking cash only, and then they were like, yep, you got to go. So hopefully they will never make that mistake again, and I won't have to be set there. And yeah, I got to see all you guys, got to hang out with a bunch of people I haven't seen, Matt and Tommy and Luke, and Cyclone was there. Old Mark Tippett showed up, so that was cool. Yeah, I mean, there's just tons of people there. It was really fun.
So how much did everyone damage their wallets at Ironwind and CGL's booths?
$42.
Not nearly as much as I thought, because I was using wedding money. So
Yeah.
and then I got paid back quite a bit of money too. So 'cause a lot of my purchases were other.
My damage was $42.
What? I got 2 of the second Star League packs.
Nope.
I got 2 Battle Masters, 2 Nova Cats, one of the Ryukins because they were backwards.
Oh yeah.
They had the flipped arm, so I was like, I need this for conversions. Don't know what the heck I'm going to do with the rest of the Raykin yet. I'll figure that out.
Was that premium Mad Dog? Did it come with different variants, or was it just a straight Prime?
It's just the Prime.
It's
I also
Prime.
picked up one of those as well. Yeah.
It's really only if you want the different. It has one leg up in the air. It's kind of in a running pose.
It's like with the Mad Cat TC where it has like different legs, but other than that, it's
right.
It's just a vulture,
Okay.
which is a big mistake.
I didn't. Well, let's see. I acquired many new things, Kickstarter stuff, because I had the good thought to bring a bunch of things for trade, and of course
that
I
reminds
also
me. We need to square
Yes.
up our trades.
you do owe me one certain piece that I'm most certainly looking forward to.
Certainly, not an ice butterfly. No.
Nope. Gotta get my collection up, boy. I think I'm over 30 now. I have more than 30 Fire Moss now. Gotta keep your options open.
Gotta keep your eye on the prize.
That's right. Oh, I ran into Brian, who runs fighting Piranha Graphics.
Oh,
And
nice.
I told him about the idea I had at Adepticon, and he was like, "Man, I was waiting every day for you to put in your order," because he's like, "I knew your order would be different because it's stuff that he doesn't post on the website, because he has like some side things that he does."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I thought for sure I'd heard from you," and I was like, "I was waiting for my Kickstarter stuff, but I will be getting a hold of you very soon." So shout out to Brian. He's a cool guy, and
Nice.
he's got a bunch of things I could acquire.
What did I get at CGL? I got not CGL, Ironwind. I got the new Savage Wolf, which looks very pretty.
It looks great. Yeah.
Still, hold on. I have my bag right here.
It's I also like that it's upright, and because the old model, and I've complained about this to no end, like it doesn't matter how you pin it. Like it's those arms, if it falls on the table, those arms are
Breaks
just
them
gonna
off.
fly. Yep.
I really like the old model's arms though. I use those for arms for different Omnis. Like one of my my Mad Dog that I have tricked out to look like a Mad Dog E a Mad Dog C. It has 2 Savage Wolf arms that
That's the Gauss rifle one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
I also play it as my E, even though it really doesn't look like it's got rotary barrels or multi-barrel. But I think it looks cool. I'll have to send you a picture of it later.
Yeah.
Rivet stems and nuts. That's how I built it.
Yeah, I ended up getting one of the premium vultures just to have one.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I scored a couple extra mana cores.
Brent, your damn co-host. I was wrapping up in the Iron Winds booth, and I turned to him, and I'm like, Aaron, what do I need? And he just looks. He looks at the entire catalog of BattleTech Iron Wind has there, and he points at the one freaking thing I actually probably would have bought, which is the Ostwar.
He has that about him.
Wait,
I
they
don't
have an
know.
Ostwar?
Yeah,
There's an actual. Is there really a model for it? Shit.
yeah. I should have got you to buy it. I also got the Night Gyre because I had that, and somehow I ended up. I used to have a ton of Night Gyres.
How do you
They
not
have
have a night
They have
guy?
a metal. They have a metal night gear for the new sculpt.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Is it
they have a
Gyre or
metal
gear?
Gyre? Gear?
I call it ear. But I
Whichever
think
one you want, baby.
It's a bird, right?
I've heard gear, gyre, and gyre.
Yeah. which base language are we using, and who are we talking to?
Fair enough.
Basically.
I got a couple of sets of the Rifleman 3C arm sprues because they had just the arm sprues separate, which is very handy.
Yes.
And apparently Death Ray Design sells some stuff through Iron Winds' booth at Gencon.
Yeah, I wish
So I got a secret project for Charlie Company Cider Company.
Ooh.
I think I got to see that.
I wish they.
You were there when I bought it.
I wish we could use the infantry they have for the 350 tournament. I really like their infantry.
A very convincing argument in my eyes that it was sold at a official Catalyst booth.
I think I will make that argument.
I also would like that. I have a Torian list where I have field guns, and I don't know if they're gonna work well.
Oh man,
but
that's cool.
I just want to use
Field
them
guns are pretty
exactly.
cool.
But to my knowledge, there's not anything that Catalyst or Iron Winds makes that I can proxy for
really.
field guns.
Right.
And it's like I could probably put enough Iron Wind infantry on there to make it hit the percentage mark that WolfNet requires, but
It'd be nice to just be able to skip right past that.
exactly.
Well, what you need is like the axle off a coup, and then just a turret off of a scorpion, and then you glue them together, and it kind of looks like a field gun, but it's just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I got the new Savage Wolf. I got the new Night Gyre from Iron Winds.
Man, I didn't know they had a metal one. That's pretty sweet. Does it come with any extra arms, or is it just a prime only?
It's just the prime.
Bah.
But I only have one Night Gyre currently, so I was like,
oh really?
I think I traded them to a bunch of my local guys, thinking I had a lot of them, and then suddenly I ran out. And so I saw the opportunity and grabbed it.
You traded one to Aaron, actually, which he
that
lost.
too.
he lost it. So he put it in the
Trial
painting
of-
competition.
Trial of Grievance.
Because he did the Fox Carnate Sea Fox.
Yeah.
It's the it's with the kind of Islander style, like henna, and he put it in the painting competition, and then he forgot about it, and then he went to grab it right after they'd already closed up, and nobody knew where it had gone. So it's just
somebody thieved his mech.
I mean, at some point they had to do something with it. I imagine they just gave it to someone, is what I imagine happened. So someone out there is enjoying Aaron's night gear. Gyre.
Yeah. So
Night something.
and then I got a Blackhawk KU.
Nice.
Because I must continue my my stupid plans of putting hips on all the mechs that don't have hips.
Ugh, boo.
I did it with the Arctic Wolves at LVO. So I'm gonna have to do it again with the Blackhawk KU.
Well, I picked up a Sunder, so let's see.
I have a Sunder. It's
That's a cool mech.
pieces on one of my shelves because
It's a turret with legs. It's very effective, but it's a turret with legs.
It is. It is very much that.
As mentioned, the Ostwar.
Yes, I just looked that up. That's pretty sweet.
The Thunderbolt 5S, because you can never have too many Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
The Scimitar Medium Hover Tank, which will be coming out to play in my local Escalation League, because I'm playing the Word of Blake.
What about them Stygian?
I do have some Stygians from you. Don't you worry, buddy. They'll be coming.
Yeah.
And then I grabbed a bunch of the premiums.
I am finally going to have a Davian Guards Battlemaster.
Don't you already have that?
It seems overdue.
Well, I have that one that
You have that
Bishop.
glorious one.
Yeah, I have that one, but I don't have one to put on the table. That one doesn't go on the table. The peasants aren't welcome to welcome.
It's
to
like that
one.
Giuliano Charles Gideon painted for me.
Yeah.
That doesn't go on
What
the
if the
table.
peasants try and touch my Battlemaster?
Peasants
Well, I
try to touch
mean,
my Battlemaster.
It's
Peasants
this.
can't.
Oh, I forgot about that. So one thing I do have to talk about. So, end of the tournament. So not because we haven't gotten into that yet, but end of the tournament on Friday. I actually had a custom made Davian Guards T-shirt on that I was wearing. It was like a light blue shirt with Davian Guards logo on the front, and then the First Davian Guards logo on the back with First Davian Guards written above it, and then Strength of Alexander below. And Mr. God and Davian, who's one of the CSO painters, and well, I mean, as his name implies, a massive Davian fan, rolls up to me because Chandler was right there, and I think Brute, Brute, and we were about to leave, and he literally just kind of grabs me and says, "Come with me," and just like, and he's from Spain, so I'm just like, okay, whatever, like we're going on an adventure. Which is funny because Brute texts me is like, "Where are you going?"
Right.
Look, when Mr. God and Davian tells you to go somewhere, you just go.
That's right.
I don't argue with that. So he brings me over and he's like, "You're gonna love this because obviously you're a man of Davian." And he pulls out and he's like, "I'm selling these." It was the archer that's actually featured in the painting guide. So I did find that one. Where me and Jedi Bob are still trying to figure out where the stinger is from, but it's a printed custom stinger that they did, painted up in Davian colors. It's apparently in one of the books. Don't know which one, because he wasn't even sure. He thought it was in the actual faction force manual, which it's not. We looked through that like front to back multiple times.
Maybe it's going to be in the Ill Clan supplement.
It might be. That might be actually where it's at. But anyway, so he shows me the archer. I was like, okay, Robinson's Rangers. I ain't a Sanderville man myself. I like to think of myself as a Crucius March man. And then he pulls out that stinger, and he's like, yeah, I could part with this for $100 and without a missing a beat. And Chandler
he just
was
immediately pulled it out. Like
I pull out my
he
wallet.
had not finished studying the words.
And handed it to him, grabbed the model from him, and I was like, well, this is mine, and that is yours now. And he just was like,
okay.
Yeah, he was like, oh my god, really? I was like, yeah. So got a picture with him with it, so that was pretty cool. And then I walked up to Mr. Brute here, and he was like, why did you pay $100 for a stinger? And I was like, because it's special.
I was surprised, but then when he explained it, I was like, okay, I back this plan 100%.
Yeah, So now it sits next to its first Brent. But anyway, so adding that. But yeah,
aren't we all?
Primary Brent, primary host Brent. Do we want to talk about the Alpha Strike tournament? Because I mean, we've been talking for a while.
It's been alluded to. So yeah, I mean,
I can go first because mine's the quickest. I'm just gonna go general recap. I got my face kicked in.
I think we all did.
If you ever take a Comstar, if you're gonna ever play Dark Age, do not take Comstar. It sucks. Your list is so tiny if you want to take C3I, which, like, why else take Comstar in the Dark Age if you're not gonna take C3I? It was really fun just pulling C3I on people and them going, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, C3I.
But then you got your teeth kicked in.
But other than that, it was really fun. But yeah, not gonna do that again.
So for me, I started the day strong. I had a very good first game. Got to axe a battle master with my my Night Sky. which was fun because I brought the Bash Brothers. I brought a Axeman, Hatchetman, and a Night Sky, and had a grand old time doing what I called the Davian Axe Guards. I also had a Warhammer 2C in there. I think I got my list. If it's not in my channel on Discord, I'll probably post it up there at some point. Yeah. But I played Davians just like Brute, but I was playing my Davian Guards. So first game, came out of it feeling real good, feeling real confident. I'd had some help tuning the list from some folks in here and some others, and was feeling very, very pleased with it. My second game was against Koshi, who I'm sorry again. I got a little frustrated during that game. I did become a salty boy because he absolutely kicked my teeth in. Like, I went from the highest high to the lowest low. Reflective armor is brutal, and I could not hit anything. I couldn't hit to save my life, and he just
his whole
rolled like
list
a
was
madman.
reflective, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which is really funny because you would think having a melee list would mean reflective.
The only time
Right.
I got
the problem is you have to
close
get to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
then he had real fast vehicles with high TMMs, which was kind of painful because it was like all hover. So I struggled with even just touching him. And the one time I could axe something, my roll missed, and then he obliterated I think it was my Night Sky or Hatchet Man. So that was brutal. So came out of that one. So that was my game 2. Game 3, basically at this point I played on the same, I actually played in the same 3 tables in a row for the rest of the day. So basically, third game ended up going in, and it was against, I forget his name, and I forget what he was running. I want to say it was something clan, because I'm pretty sure it was clan related. Anyway, we played a brutal game of just trading back and forth. I know.
Oh, is this the guy that had the linebacker, the Daishi?
No.
No. Okay. So
No, different guy. But he and I basically were trading crit for crit. Because I played next to Z, and Z's game ended quick because she was playing young Bovie, and he sat there and watched, and he literally looked at us, and he's like, "How can you roll this many crits?" Because I think between us there was something like 13 or 14 crits rolled in that game, like through armor crits rolled in that game. It was insane. I ended up losing by 3 BV. Because we tied out on objective points, and I lost by 3 BV. Like, I know Jason Hansa apparently walked up to me during that game, but me and this dude were just so, in the zone of what was going on that, yeah. Anyway, so played that one. Then I played, I believe his name was Luke, one of his first times ever playing Battletech, or playing 350 Alpha Strike. He and I played. He'd had some rough games earlier in the day, but he and I actually had a lot of fun. I think Chandler saw part of that match where he just had that heavy armor in the back there, and my light Davian Axe Guards are trying to bomb rush him.
Oh yeah.
I tried to blitzkrieged him and managed to pull off a win, just barely. But it was brutal. It came at a terrible cost. And he and I had a great game with that. And so that was my game 4, and then my game 5 is closing out what seems to be the saga of Gencon. Is last year I started with Mike Seneca, I end with Mike Seneca in this game, or this time around. Mike Seneca, as was the first time I played him, kicked my teeth in ruthlessly. Literally by the end of turn 1, I looked at him and I was like, "You've won this game. I can't hit you, and you're playing 250 points of brutal Jade Falcon metal."
Oh, and Seneca only brought 250 points.
Oh, I know, but he didn't need more than that because that list was disgusting.
Oh yeah, he had Malvina, Hayes, and Shrike at skill 2. Friggin' Shrike hopping around, blasting everything.
Yep, and then he had that. Then he had a Black Lantern and a what was the other one?
He had a Hellion, a Black Lantern, 2 Aprites, and the
Flambridge.
Flambridge.
Yeah,
I always want to call it the Flamberger. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
the
egg.
Hellion. the Hellion and the Black Lantern basically just bodied everybody, and then the Shrike was just like there to, be the cherry on top, and I could not hit the Ifrits to save my life, so he just completely wrecked me. It was funny. End of turn 2, I actually looked at him and was like, "Hey, you've won." He's like, "You keep saying that," and then at the end of or turn 3, he's like, "Yeah, I won." I was like, "I know. I kind of told you how this is gonna end." I was like, you literally didn't need to kick my teeth then, because we knew the result. But yeah, so that was my day. I did get to end up walking away with a top 8 measuring tool.
Yeah, you did.
Because I traded it with Koshi, because he was like, "I've got so many of these," and Coach was a little bit mad about that, but I'm okay with that.
That's
but
just,
yeah,
icing on the cake.
no, so end of the day, what was funny is I looked at what I played in the tournament. I played 2 of the guys that made top 8, and played the next day with Koshi, and then I think his name was Gabe, my first opponent. I apologize for forgetting your name, but we only really talked for the game, and that was about it. And then Mr. Seneca took 12th. So basically, I played, of my 5 games, I played 3 of the top 12, and that was brutal. Especially when I got to see people get to go play fun games, and I'm just like, I'm having to play super competitively. And all I want to do is play Ed and do something stupid. So we did try, me and Ed did try and bribe our way to get on the WolfNet stream to play a really stupid game, but they refused to,
Yeah, sorry about that. Me and Ed ruined that at Adepticon.
And then you ruined it for me and Ed again.
Oh,
Ed ruined it for Ed. Anyway, not important. So, yeah, that was my tournament experience. Was similar to Chandler of getting my teeth kicked in.
You just got your teeth slightly less kicked in.
Oh, I think
I was like 30 something.
Yeah, I did slightly better, but I think I played some more intense games too. But anyway, Mr. Brood.
Yes.
It is your time to reflect upon
the 350.
Brutality. Yeah.
The tree fitty.
The tree fitty.
Let me see. Well, I'm trying to remember who was my first opponent. I can't remember. I don't even remember what the first scenario was. I know that I ran basically the same 250 through the whole thing. What's the first scenario? Is that when I set my terrain up so bad because I was trying to figure out how to run my mechs and it was a disaster. So I won. Right, so it was 3-2. Mike Doyle beat me, and I cannot for the life of me remember the gentleman I was on stream with. And he's I saved that one for the very last one. Mike Doyle, I've played him in Domination, and he smashed me pretty good. Hold the Line, I played Dave Bambridge, and that was the one that I don't know how I won. That was just a calamity from start to finish. Where I am drawing a blank. You guys remember what the first 2 rounds were?
No idea. I don't really remember any of the rounds.
The very first one was King of the Hill, which I got absolutely my teeth kicked in because I had a C3 I list and I played one of the guys who got in like the top 8. And it just did not go well.
Okay, so the King of the Hill makes sense because I just bum rushed the King of the Hill because all I had was mostly light fast stuff. So I swarmed it and I held on to it for dear life. I do remember doing that. The second one I cannot recall what that was, but anyway, yeah. Third round was Domination. Got killed there. Fourth round. See, the thing that was funny is while my units were light, I never gave up very much as far as MOV. That last one though, that was that one was Domination. That was the 5 points. That Bunkers was with Mike Doyle. He just had more firepower than me. I couldn't bust a bunker. With Domination, I played the gentleman who had he had a Ghost Bear army. He had a Kodiak and he had a Nova Cat with the T-Simp. And basically, my thought process was if I could either win it in round 2 or round 3, but if it goes to round 4, the game's over. And like if you listen to me on the stream, like I'm gun ho the first 3 rounds, and then once round 4 comes, I'm like, I know this game's over. I've lost. So there's a huge change in me. I did not have the armor and structure to hold out. If I couldn't win in those first 3 rounds, then the game was over for me. So he ended up going on to top 8. I'm not sure how he finished, but he had a pretty good army. I was surprised at the number of friggin' spiders everywhere. Spiders everywhere. Had to roll up a newspaper and start swatting.
Everywhere.
Yeah. It probably wasn't. It wasn't the finish I hoped for, but I came out in 17th place. I was when I faced Dave Bambridge in round 4. I was in 8th. I know that. Or came out of that one in 8th place because he was number 1.
I think even after losing to Koshi, losing those 2 games because of how decent I did on score in my third game, I actually was for some reason like top 12 for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I won, got bumped up again, and then got my teeth kicked in and dropped back down.
I don't think the tournament winner won every single game.
No.
Good.
I mean, yeah, that's how it should be. No one should just go through and just sweep everything. It was fun.
I mean,
I look forward to it.
I will totally admit that I think when me and Chandler went to lunch and we realized that we're not going to be in top 8 on Saturday, we were both just like, all right, we just have to get through the rest of today.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we can just
we just
hang
goof
out.
off, go to the pods, buy stuff.
Go to the pods, go bother the Godfather, Mr. Topa, and just go wander around and do whatever we want. And we were both pretty excited for that.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really want to be in the top 8. I take that back. I wanted to. I nobody wants to lose, but I was kind of like, I don't know if I really want to just have that much of a slugfest going nonstop because that's grueling.
Yeah.
And the middle of the pack is where everybody's having fun because they know they're not going to win, so they're just like, hey, let's try something crazy. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, especially once you get into like the last 2 games of the day where people are just like, you know what, I'm tired. Let's just do stupid things.
Which is with my Dave in my game. I charged 2 skill 2 assault tanks with light mechs, and I managed to swarm and kill them. And I'm like, I don't even know how that happened, but I'm going to take it.
I do notice that a lot of the podcasters end up in that middle kind of ground throughout the tournament.
We have other things to worry about than being the best that ever was.
It's true, and one of the other secrets to the podcasters all being in the middle of the pack is because people hand out airline shots, and then you start playing less well the longer you play. So,
I seem to remember that happening. Yeah.
Yes. I wouldn't know who would do that, but there are nefarious characters out there.
You got to be careful.
Such a thing.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were my friend. I am.
Such moral degeneracy.
Yeah, when you get people showing up playing as the Abominatari.
Oh, Jeff was hilarious.
I was doing good till he came over and blessed my dice with that incense burner full of recoil, and then my dice just went to hell.
I love the fact that I forget who it was put that picture of Blake and then put pamphlets out.
Oh man, I can't think of who was doing that. Apparently, that person leaves Word of Blake pamphlets all over the place as they're out on road trips.
I have one.
Hilarious.
It's on my center living room table right now.
Yeah, I grabbed a couple and I gave them out to some of the local guys here. I am 100% convinced that at some point somewhere in the Midwest there's going to be a Word of Blake cult. It's just going to happen.
Should be.
If there isn't already.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Like some small Midwestern town somewhere. Praise Blake.
It's election season. They're going to have to get the Blakist on board. It'll be the swing vote.
Who will love my toaster more?
That's right.
Well, I think that's our Gen Con wrap-up, right? Everybody's reported in.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Any shout-outs, folks?
I would like to shout out the Minnesota crew. I got that cool Minnesota jersey that I was wearing on Saturday, which was awesome. So shout out to the Minnesota group, and then of course the elder Mr. Bovey. So who procured those, got us all together, got a picture. Forgot that some of us weren't there. Then I proceeded to grab everybody and get a picture because my wife wanted a picture of all of us in the jerseys. So managed to get that, including Randall Bills and Brent Evans in there. So that was pretty cool, and got that.
Let's see. What do I do? I mean, there's so many of them. I can't remember everybody's names too, so it makes me a bit of a dick here. But a shout out to Minnesota crew, the Iowa crew, the Michigan crew, and the Indiana crew. A lot of guys from all in those areas, and also I got to meet a lot of people this time around too. It's always cool when somebody comes up and they're like, "Oh man, I listened to your podcast," and then I point to my wife and I'm like, "See, people do listen to me." She's like, "That's good. No one cares when you get home." For just a few moments, I can. But I just want to thank everybody that listens to the podcast, and comes out and plays, and meets us and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. It's great getting to meet people.
Let's see, who do I want to shout out? Definitely want to shout out. What's the guy's name who put the sticker on the Catalyst box?
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't Brent. It was
Brent.
Yes, yeah, he's the
Yes,
man.
Brent
He
Bills.
put the sticker on the. He put one of our what is it? The salvage stickers. On...
No, well, he put one of the salvage stickers on himself, and then he
Oh,
put one
yes.
of the Powered by Vlar 300 stickers onto where all the dice and like the small swag stuff was kept.
Mm-hmm.
Someone was running around with the Valar 300 sticker on a cloak. It was one of the Catalyst guys.
It's probably Lauren. Lauren Coleman was running around in a cloak on the third day or so.
It might have been.
And to be fair, that sticker is a first generation merch rite of passage. The one you think is not going to be the popular one is the one you order the least of, and it's the one everyone wants.
Right.
Dude, I ran out of those so fast because I was just like, "Are you powered by Vlar 300?" And people are like, "I would love to be powered by Vlar 300." And I'm like, "Here you go."
Praise be to
handing
Vlar.
handing them out. Like I ran out where I don't think I actually kept one.
I need something for the Quick Sell Corporation next time around.
I'll see what I can mock up for you.
I need cheap vehicles now.
Yeah.
Quality is not an issue.
Quality is not a concern.
That's right.
Yeah. So on that subject, we are planning to do some like shirts and stickers, and there's a plan to do like a pre-orders or like have an actual shop. A friend of mine is helping me set that up, but they are setting up their shop first, and so hurry up and wait spot right now. But yeah, I wanted to shout out the Blank Bodies crew as well as the City of Glass people for doing the great Boston Besieged LARP, which I again did this year, and it was a great time. Everybody was fantastic, but didn't go into it because it's not a BattleTech thing, and with all of us here, I knew we were going to be not a short one, as I said. But yeah. Shout out to all those and all the great people working at the Catalyst booth and the Renegade booth, and yeah, it was great to meet everybody. I did mingling, handing out stickers and the pins when I was able to get them to people, because that I got on the second day. And yeah, no, Gencon as always was a great time, and I did a bunch of networking, and so you might see me on a stream sometime in the future in my vault suit for some reason. Who knows?
What could be the reason?
You will find out.
And I would like to shout out. She doesn't listen to this at all, but one of my local friends watches my cat Bubba Gump when I'm not home, and so shout out to her. I ended up getting her a bunch of the random board games.
Oh my god!
we went on a hunt. That was most of our Friday. Was Derek and I going through the freaking vendor hall of my little list?
No,
Wingspan's a hit.
Yeah.
Our Thursday afternoon after I got back was doing that. Then our Saturday, when we weren't hanging out with the guys from the O-Man crew and some other people, it was me and Chandler just hunting down people, like crisscrossing the vendor hall hunting for stuff. It was really funny. It's
a good time. But I think that's my only shout out, other than to getting the stickers on the Catalyst stuff, and of course Brent for making those stickers. Our Brent, not Oh Man Brent. Sorry, Oh Man Brent.
I was like, whoa, wow. I'm glad I did that.
Oh, and then Aaron for being, the bad habit man. Like I encouraged Derek to do bad things, but Aaron encouraged me to buy more things, which is not good.
Which was funny. Me and Chandler came to the conclusion during Gencon as we're walking around that I was his will. Like I would just be like, no. Like at the I was at the Iron Winds booth. I was like, no, you don't need that. You don't need that. You don't need this. You don't need that. And he finally like sat there, looked at me, and then looked over at Aaron and was like, Aaron, what do I need? And I was like,
the worst part was is that he chose like the one thing I would have bought.
I know, and I just watched.
So you didn't end up getting it, just to be clear.
I did.
You
the
did.
War
Okay.
is in the bag. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like it was funny. I was sitting there debating about. I forget what I was debating about buying, and then Chandler just walks up and goes, "Treat yourself," and I'm like,
"Treat yourself."
I was like, you're right, and I just grabbed it. I'm glad you weren't with me when I went over to the Corvus Belly booth and was looking at Warcry, because I would have walked away with $170 worth of stuff.
I needed you to say no to me because I spent way too much money, as I usually do at these events.
Yeah, the problem was I wasn't near you on the days that you were spending money.
That's true.
I wasn't there for you.
All right, Brent, did you have anybody to shout out?
Yeah, I'm gonna be cheap, and I'm gonna shout out all of the podcasters, including you guys. It was a blast hanging out with you. I'm sad we still haven't had the meeting of the Brents, the convening. I gotta find a way to. We gotta get
We gotta be at the Catalyst booth at the same time so that we can get all three of us and get the Trinity going.
That's right, but we gotta get a name for it that alliterates with B's.
The
right?
banding of the Brents.
Banding of the Brents. There we go. So we'll have to work that out in the future. And my guys, the of Mechs and Men guys, and also the Catalyst Game Lab team. It's always awesome interacting with John Helfers and Brett Evans and all those guys. It's always a good time going to these things because of getting to hang out with all of you guys. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, our sources are our memories and our bank accounts. So.
Oh, no. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be because I paid for the flights with points. Woo! Traveling for work.
All right. Well, with that, I'm going to say class dismissed. Everybody have a great day.
Stay safe out there.
Have a good one.
Check your fire lanes.
Goodbye.
Module complete. System standby. Would you like to load the next module?